Hey, it's almost noon, so I had to make a run to get some lines for the new spinnaker. I found a good deal for $1.22 a foot, and I got extra line to run for the tack. I've got and it's 3/8, so that's good. So I'm just going to show you that real quick. Okay, so this is more than I need. It's actually, he gave me 70 feet for 40 foot of line. So I got an extra 30 feet free because this was already cut. So then I got my sheets for the asymmetrical, which green, okay, and then I've got red. All right, so red for port, green for starboard, right? Yeah, somebody will correct me. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. Red is on the port side. So, yeah. So, anyways, let's see. So I'm going to show you what, okay, this line here, I put in the cables, okay? So I put in the cable for the Autopilot control head, ran that, and that was easy. So I just connected that all up to the C-Talk, and then this line right here was actually the line I left in order to pull a wire from either that direction or from that direction to here. And guess what? It wasn't connected on the other side. It had fed through part way. So it was no of use to me. Okay. So then I had to get my little trusty wire here. And it wasn't quite long enough. So I had to attach it to the screwdriver with some tape. So once I was able to finally thread this through, it took multiple attempts because it kept wanting to curl up and go around and go down in here because I could see it. The wire was doing the same thing when I was trying to do it without this piece of wire. This is actually brazen wire. So what I had to end up doing was eventually I went in from, excuse the mess because it is a mess in this boat right now. So I had to go, this is all my C-Talk, my AIS, my converter. You know, this is the base of everything. So everything that I'm doing to the ACU or whatever is going over by the ACU is just the continuing extension. That's what I want to say. Extension of this base C-Talk. So this stuff doesn't have room for any more connections. So and on this bar up here, you can see the C-Talk bar. There is a plug. So that terminator plug, this blue one, I had to run this blue wire. Okay, this is what I had to run through. I also pulled another tracer through. So I now have a new wire trace. So in case I have to run more wire through there, I got a way to pull it through. So this will be mounted up here. I'll pull that terminator plug out and then plug that in there. So that's where this is the whole stuff, everything that is hooked to this, if this makes sense. Everything. My AIS, my VHF radio, my radar, my transducer, my wind instrument. Everything that is hooked to this, the GPS, all runs, it's going to be able, it's the way it's supposed to work. That's the way Raymarine told me, that if I run that extension off this up here and run it through, which is what I said this wire here is, okay? And that's what I had to get longer wire because it didn't, the one that was with the kit wasn't long enough. Or I used it for something else. So, yeah. So then this, okay, so then all this goes right back into here. And all that goes back up through there, and all this wire, see all these wires right here, okay, it's going to be all mounted in place up there, okay, and it's going to come down back in here, okay, and come down alongside the ACU, and then it's going into this terminal blocks here, okay, the C-top block. And I did find I have a black terminator. So in case I don't use this connection, a white connection, I've got a terminator in it. So it won't do anything. The only thing I've got left to hook up now, since I've got, okay, so one wire, which is, okay, that's to the ACU, this one. This other one, which I'll be mounting up there, up on the ceiling, and it's dark in there, but that goes to my, this one here, goes to my PS70. I think it's a PS70, or I got it backwards because, I'm sorry, I have dyslexia, so sometimes I put letters backwards. Okay, so, that's going to go to the control head that I can do out there manually on the control head in the cockpit, not through the chart plotter. So now, okay, so then this other one, which is what I showed you at the other end that I had to fish through, okay, and up through there and then across here, and over behind there and out there, and it's going to connect in that other block. That's this wire, okay? That's already connected to this other blue, okay? So I'm hoping that will work, all right? This here is blue, but that's just an extension to make my cable longer with a T connector, with a T connector back where my core sensor is, where it tells you, remember where I tell you, where it tells you the angle of the boat, how the boat is sitting in the seascape, okay, whether it's pitching, whether it's rolling, okay, that's what it's going to, this is going to give a better bearings to where the boat is according to to make the autopilot work better. The other thing that has to go to this ACU box, okay, is the power, which the power, I haven't hooked it up yet, but here it is, okay? So that's my power. That'll go in there. I have to change the ends because this went to the old one. So the ends will be changed. I'm not sure what the fuse size is in here, so I'll have to check. They recommend, I don't know if it was 15 or 20, but I will double check. So, so that'll go right to this box inside. It'll take the cover off and go right there. The other two things that are going to go to this once they're run, and that is the EV linear box, which runs the RAM, okay, that is got to go there once it's done, and then the wires are run. The other thing that's going to go directly to this box is the rudder location. So the rudder location arm, okay, I have an old one out there, but the new one, I'm putting a new one in. So I'll just pull it through with the old wires and pull it through, so it should be easy enough for me to pull it through. So yeah, we're getting there. It's just taking time, but we are getting there. So right now, when I'm done with this today, basically all I got to do is do the rudder arm, run that wire, and then it's up to the guy that I hired to do the like the shelf. We're going to put the shelf in there, plus put the linear arm on it, mount that. The arm will go to the box, and then the arm will go to the bronze rudder extension arm, or rudder arm, stern arm. So once that goes on there, the rudder arm or the tiller arm, it will, we'll have to drill a hole for that pin for the rod to go through and drop down, so that it has something to be able to push the rudder, turn the rudder. And then he has to drill a hole through my rudder post with that tiller arm in place, so that we can drop a bolt through with a nut on the other end that will hold it more sturdy on the rudder post. Because that linear arm, okay, which is a lot, like I said, is a lot better for my boat, for the weight of my boat, than the wheel pilot. The reason being is because it's a lot stronger, okay? It can push that rudder with more force than the wheel pilot, which was mounted on my wheel in the cockpit, okay? That's all it was turning. It's just the wheel, just like standing there turning the wheel, but the pilot itself was turning it, okay? This one here is going right to my rudder, bypassing the wheel, bypassing all that with this big box with a arm on it. It's as good as you can get without being hydraulic, okay? So that's what we're going to end up with. So if everything works, okay, and everything talks to each other, which that's why I stayed with Raymarine, okay, so that everything can communicate and talk to each other, okay, that's why I had to make that extension of the base of the CTOC center and make an extension of that base so that I could hook up the ACU, hook up anything else that would go through there, and it just communicates back and forth. So I don't have to redo my transducer. I don't have to redo my radar cable. I don't have to do my VHF and my AIS receiving and transmitting. My wind instrument, the GPS, those are all going to stay right where they are. It's just going to send the information right to there. And my chart plotter, it goes to that area right there too. So the brand new one, just the same as, same as this chart plotter. Okay. That chart plotter runs back there. Okay. Back into this little cabinet, and it talks to each other. All my other equipment comes up on there, everything, my radar, my wind instruments, my AIS, everything comes up there. All right. So that's the whole idea of doing with the new chart plotter and hooking up to the same wire, power wire and CTOC. It should continue right on and doing the same thing, reading my radar, reading everything I have within that CTOC system, okay? My AIS, transmitting, receiving, my transducer, my, the only thing that those two chart plotters will not be able to do unless I hardwire them, and I don't see no sense of doing that right now. Maybe I can now because this is a brand new chart plotter. This is a Lighthouse 3, which can be upgraded to Lighthouse 4, which is what my new one is, Lighthouse 4. They cannot talk to each other. It's the only piece of equipment on my boat that will not be able to talk to each other unless I hardwire them. So I have to run a cable from the back of that one all the way through the system, which I can, and back up to the back of that other one. But that's a lot of wire that's very expensive. It's not cheap. Okay, that wire is not cheap. Okay, so I don't care if my chart plotters talk to each other. It's me that they talk to each other. They can, I can come down here and I can pull up whatever I want. The only thing I can't do, is my radar. So once one is on one chart plotter, it has to stay there until I decide to switch, and then I can bring the radar down here. But the AIS, the location of other boats, the boats seeing me, it can be done on both these chart plotters. Okay, and that's important. The radar, it'll still set off alarms out there, or I can direct it to come down here, and it can do all the alarming down here, and I can see the radar from down here. So it's not a big deal for me. Okay, so yeah, we're there. We're getting there. We're not there yet, but we're getting there, and hopefully, it's supposed to rain for the next 5 or 6 days. I was trying to get my head sail down and hoping that would get down, and hoping that I could get that fixed. My sail maker has got my new sails coming. I sold the 2 other sails that I had on the boat because I don't need to carry them. The head sail and the main sail I'll be taking down. That one up there, I'll be taking that one down. The guy's going to come and get it the 22nd or 23rd of this month. And next week, Hunter should be sending my new mainsail and sending the spinnaker. So, yeah. I still have a lot to do, okay? This is just the tip of the iceberg. I still have like engine work to do. I've got a maintenance on that. I also have, what else do I get to do? Oh, I got to pull my transducer, which I don't know if I'll pull it today or either that or tomorrow. I need to pull that and clean that before, and not put it back in until my diver comes and cleans the boat. And then once he does that and everything, I'll turn around and I'll put the transducer back in there, because it's got little fins for my speed. And unfortunately, those little paddles, okay, they get, and I think I've showed you a video of that before, they get clogged up. And then I don't get the reading for speed over water. I always get speed over land because I have the GPS, but I don't get the speed over water because those little paddles are not turning. Okay, so I've got to do that, and then finish. Where's the other thing I have to do? Once I get my new sail, I'm also going to redo my my lazy jacks. My lazy jacks are what kind of keep the sail from falling off the boom when I'm letting it down. I'm going to make a 3-leg. I guess they call it a 3-leg, 2-leg, 4-leg, 4-leg, 6-leg. I guess it's going to be a 6-leg. But anyways, it'll be 2 near the mast, 2 in the middle, and then 2 lines back, near the end of the boom. So the aft part of the boom. And then that right there will give me 3 points of line going up that to back up to the mast, where it'll hold that in, because my end of my main sheet keeps falling down, and it's hard as a single solo handler to manage the sail when it keeps falling down off the end. So, and I'm trying to flake it so that I can get it tied back down to the boom again. So I'm hoping that having that extra 2 legs around the boom at the aft end of it, that it'll make the sail, instead of flopping off the edge of it, the side of it, that it will keep it more on the boom so that it will be easier for me to start flaking it towards the top. So, yeah. Okay. Well, we've been on here for like 20 minutes. So I think this is long enough. But happy Saturday. And everybody, God bless. Thanks for watching. And be sure to hit the like and follow. It just helps Blue Dancer's page get notice. And we definitely want to get a little notice. So you guys can keep up with what's going on with us, because it won't be long and we'll be going down to the Bahamas. So the one good thing about the whole thing too, going down to the Bahamas right now, I have Starlink. That's another thing. I have to put a hole in my boat, and I've got a weather in that line will go through, and it won't be hanging out here, which right now it hangs out here. And that'll be weaved back through the boat, and you can plug into the AC outlet, or you can hook on and use the DC. Okay, so I just want to be able to run the line through there and be able to, and I'm not sure which way I want. I might just go ahead and just do the DC side versus trying to do the AC side. So I just have to see how this all goes together, because I do have a DC adapter kind of thing. So I just figured that all out. You know I will. I'm just crazy like that. So thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Love you all. Bye.